I had a dream that my family was having a party because it was New Year's Eve sometime in the future. And so my extended family was there on my mom's side, all my aunts and uncles, all my cousins, and that's a lot of people. But we were sitting at a table and we were eating a meal, and I had these jelly beans, and one of my cousins walked up and she was changing colors. At one point she was very, very bright red, and then she was very bright orange, and then she was very bright green, and I realized it was the jelly beans that would make you change color, and it was cool. People kept eating them and thinking it was wicked cool. But I found 4 of the jelly beans that did that, and I had them specially stored away in this little cup because I wanted to keep them for myself because I wanted to try it later. I didn't want to change colors right then, but I wanted to try it later. But for some reason, I kept having to stop people from trying to eat my jelly beans. And at one point, my cousin Danny, he just kind of grabbed them, was about to eat them, and I was like, "No, Danny, those are mine." He's like, "Okay." And then another point, my cousin Nate grabbed them, and he was about to eat them, and I was like, "Nate, don't. Those are mine. Those are the color-changing jelly beans." He's like, "I don't want to change color. Take your jelly beans back." And I was like, "Okay." So he gave me my jelly beans back, but it was really interesting because people kept changing color. And then we were looking at pictures online because apparently the government had this system where they took tons and tons of pictures of everyone and they stored them online so everyone could look at them. And I remember my family being upset because all the pictures of us were being stored underneath party, and they were like, that just sticks us. Oh no, it was being stored underneath the category of a dance. And they're like, this isn't a dance, this is a family party. I'm like, well, I don't categorize them, it's the government. And so they were all really upset. And then I, and then I was in this part of the country that got sealed off from the rest of the country because there was a war or something going on inside the United States of America. And I was in this car, and for some reason, these 2 people started just stabbing everyone in the car, and I ducked underneath the seat because the reason they were stabbing everyone is because they were coming after me specifically, and the driver was doing something crazy. He was like trying to kill people, and so somehow we managed to get the driver out of the car, and someone else took his place, and uh, and so we were trying to escape, and there's this one lady in the car, and I turned to this other man and I was like, watch her. Do not let her move because she's got a giant sword. And they're like, what? I'm like, don't let her move. Just watch her for a second. So I ducked under the seat and I grabbed her giant sword, and literally it was the size, it was like 6 foot long and it was like 2 feet wide, and I was like, look at this giant sword, and they were like, oh my gosh. So the lady whipped out another sword, but it was smaller, but I had this giant sword, so there was nothing she could do, but she'd been trying to stab me with that earlier. And so we kicked her out of the car, and we managed to survive and drive away. And then there was more details with flying children and people who would stand on razor blades, like way, way high up in the air, and it was a crazy dream. But I can't remember a lot of the details about the flying children. I don't know why they could fly. All I know is that they were messengers, and they were flying they were like the post office, except instead of driving, they knew how to fly on their own. I don't know. It was weird. Okay, bye.